Assalamu alaikum. I am leaving my gym and I was thinking about you guys and thinking about some messages that I got after I got a couple messages after the last live, specifically about protein. So I thought I'd come on and give you just a couple of really quick tips about protein. So one of the questions that was asked yesterday is in relation to protein powder and protein supplements, and do we really need it? And so I got a question about do we have to supplement with protein, particularly for weight loss? Someone else asked, like, is this natural or will I have to always take it? I got a message asking me, two messages asking me how much protein do you need. So let me say, and I have this conversation often, probably at least in every other video that I do, we talk a little bit about the need for protein and animal protein versus vegetarian protein. So let me give you just kind of like the definitive about having protein. So most people want to know, well, do I have to eat eggs and chicken, and what if I'm a vegetarian? So protein is something that protein is a macronutrient, as you know. And what I want to clarify is when I talk about having protein and how much you need to have, I am talking about reaching specific fitness goals or weight loss goals. The amount of protein that a human being needs to live is a debatable issue, right? So people say, well, there are vegetarians who are healthy and they don't have to eat meat all the time. Absolutely. You do not need 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight just for you to live and be healthy, right? However, when you eat according to your fitness goals, then your macronutrient amount changes. So what you need in terms of protein to just survive is one number. What you need in terms of protein in order to run a marathon is a completely different number. If you just lift weights, that's another number. If you want to just lose weight, that's another number. If you want to decrease your belly fat, right? So that's a different type of protein. So one of the things that I encourage, which is one of the reasons why I make nutritional programs for people, is because it's really specific to whatever your fitness goal is. So it doesn't mean that everybody has to eat animal meat and you can't be a vegetarian being healthy. I've never claimed that. I don't believe that. I think that for sure you can get your protein from lots of different sources, and it doesn't necessarily have to be animal protein. I also feel like you can get your protein from animal protein. Allah has made it permissible for us to eat animals as food, so there's no harm. It's just a different choice. So let me say this as well. I can't give you a specific amount, like everybody should eat this amount of protein in their diet. The reason why is because, one, this actually this reaches lots of different people. Everybody has different fitness goals. But I will say this is, if your goal is at all to lose weight, to lose belly fat, if you are an avid exerciser, particularly if you do a lot of cardio and you're training for a race or you're practicing for a marathon, you need significantly more protein than a person who does not exercise vigorously. You need significantly more protein to someone who does not have a weight loss problem. So protein does several things. Number one, it boosts your metabolism, right? So the way that it boosts your metabolism is when your body digests a food, it's actually burning energy. That's a part of your metabolism, how many calories your body burns in order to break a food down. It takes your body more calories and more work to break down a protein, and it doesn't matter where that protein comes from, whether you're talking about protein from soy or protein from beef, right? It's protein, that macronutrient is protein, and your body works harder to break it down, and so it burns more calories. So that's number one. Number two, it keeps you full longer. So when people tell me, well, you know, I've eaten all of my meals and at night I'm still craving something. At night I'm hungry, right? And that's when I go to the chips or the cookies. My first response would be, then you need to increase your protein throughout the day so you're not hungry later on. It prevents you from being hungry. When your goal is to lose weight, 99% of the time, we need to decrease the amount of calories that we are eating. And most people obviously don't want to feel hungry, right? The key to a good weight loss program, the nutrition of a good weight loss program is that you are able to reduce your calories, change your macronutrients, and not feel hungry while you do it, right? So that's how you know that you're good. Anybody can like starve themselves and lose weight, right? But you want to do it in a healthy way that allows you to function, that you don't feel hungry and you still have energy. Having the proper amount of protein is what's going to allow you to do that. So I have a couple questions. Is low carbohydrate eating is good? The term, Amira, the term low carbohydrate eating is really relative. So I am not an advocate for low carb in terms of Atkins low carb. So 10% of your calories come from carbohydrates. I think we need more than that, particularly if you're exercising. So low carb is relative. I like moderate carb amount when it comes to, it depends on what your goal is too. Again, if your goal is just weight loss, if your goal is to run a marathon, then that's a completely different macronutrient ratio. So I can't say if low carb is good because I don't know what you define as low carbohydrates. Everybody defines it differently. During nursing, how much protein do you need? Again, Sarish, I can't give you a number of protein because you're nursing. Your protein amount is a combination of, so when I create a nutrition program for people, I need to know how much you weigh. I need to know what is the level of stress in your life. I need to know what activity are you doing? How often are you exercising? Are you doing resistance training? Are you doing cardiovascular training? Though it's a combination of figuring out, there is a research number based on all of those things that I can then calculate and say, okay, this is how many macros you need a day. This is how many this is how much protein you need a day. So I can't give you an answer to that on a live. Can you guide about carb cycling and how we should do it to lose fat? So Benny, let me say, so carb cycling, I can't do this video about carb cycling because I'm in the middle of running my errands, and so that's a little longer. I would say I'm going to come on for 10 minutes. But carb cycling is another way of a weight loss program. I think personally that it is more for advanced exercisers, right? If you don't need to lose weight and you're only trying to change your body, if you don't need to lose scale weight and you're trying to change your body composition. So for example, I'm at my goal weight, but my body fat is too high. So I'm going to reduce my body fat, increase my muscle. And then that's when carb cycling comes in handy. Other than that, it's actually kind of complicated, a little bit difficult for the average person to do. So if your goal is just, I want to lose 30 pounds, then I would say that's not what I would recommend for you. Oh, alhamdulillah. Thank you. Do I have skin tips and nutritional advice? I don't think that I have great skin. Give you a little secret about me is I just am photogenic, which means the camera just hides naturally. I do not filter my videos or my pictures. The camera just hides my flaws. Believe me, I don't. But in terms of skin, I do try to drink a lot of water, and I think that if you are eating healthy and you are not eating a lot of sugar and processed foods and fried foods, then it will definitely show in your skin. It will show everywhere in your body. 2 minutes, okay, you can stalk me. Alhamdulillah, thank you. So that is what I wanted to say, particularly about protein. Oh, Assalamu alaikum, Aida from Turkey. Tokyo, Japan. Awesome. That's what I love about Facebook. Like, we are a community no matter where we are in the world. I love that about Facebook. So I wanted to come on and just give you those couple of tips about including protein in your diet. So what I can say as a general rule for everybody, no matter what your particular, and I'm assuming that everybody on the Fit Muslima page has a fitness or weight loss goal, right? So I'm assuming, I'm making that assumption. The important thing, what you want to do about protein is you want to make sure that you have protein at every meal that you're having, right? Don't have a meal that's just carbohydrates and fats, right? So what that would look like is, I've met people, or I know people who say, well, for breakfast I have toast with butter and coffee, right? Not a good choice for breakfast. It's all fats from the butter, carbs from the bread, and such a minuscule amount of protein that you're going to be hungry in an hour, right? The coffee is an appetite suppressant, so it may kind of like, you know, make you go a couple of hours without feeling hungry, but that is not what you want. You want to make sure that you have protein with every single meal that you have. So as you sit down and look, so if you're having, for example, pasta with tomato sauce, right? You want to make sure you put some type of protein inside of that tomato sauce. For me, I don't care if it's, you know, if you like tofu. I personally don't like tofu, but that's just me. It's not that it's a bad thing. It's just not in my taste buds. So you can do tofu, you can do ground meat, you can do ground turkey, whatever it is. Just make sure that you add some protein into that meal. So that is all I have for you today. If you have any questions, you can go ahead and post them below this video if you want me to do a video on it, and I'll read the comments later. So now I have done. I'm off because I am getting ready to go run some errands after I finish doing my workout. One more question. What about the percentage of our daily should our calories come from protein? So Lonnie, let me say again, on this particular video, I don't want to give a general number for people, because it depends on your goal. So if your goal is weight loss, that's one number. If your goal is to be able to practice for a marathon, that will be another number. In general, for weight loss, your protein should be about 40% of your total calorie amount, and that's going to differ for everybody because your calorie amount is based on your weight and your goals. So I think that may have been more confusing than than it has been helpful. Ida, the video about PCOS, I think that the webinar has been taken down. When I put it back up, I'll make sure that I post it. My thoughts on dairy in general, I have no problem with dairy. Dairy is halal. It is something that Allah specifically mentioned in the Quran that is permissible, that He gave to us as a mercy. So if you are buying dairy from a ethical source that is, and one, I don't have a problem with dairy, period. Okay, so that's in general, right? And number two, if you are concerned about how cows are treated or raised, I say just find it from a company that treats their animals well. I personally drink Fairlife, and that's a unpaid solicitation for Fairlife. I just think it's an awesome company. So what Fairlife is one, they treat their animals ethically, and that's important to me. And number two, they actually reconstitute it to have higher amounts of protein inside of their milk. And number three, I am actually lactose intolerant. I have developed lactose intolerance as I get older. I wasn't lactose intolerant probably before I was maybe about 30. I had no problems with it, and then it starts to develop as I got older, and so their milk is also it's also for people who are lactose intolerant. So that's what I like, and I do eat dairy. And Nisho, alhamdulillah, you saw me on Oprah and you finally found me. Yay! Alhamdulillah. So that's my thought. So Shadia said, can I show your workouts in the gym? So that is a good idea, but I can't do that for a little while because it's the beginning of the year. The gym is super crowded. I don't want other people to feel uncomfortable that they're going to be on my Facebook Live. But if I'm ever in the gym and it's not that crowded, so I think a couple of months ago, or no, maybe like 6 months ago, I did do a live workout from my gym because I was a part of a much smaller gym, and sometimes I would go there and be the only person there. But I'm a part of a bigger gym now, and unfortunately there's a lot of people that comes to this gym. But if I ever get an opportunity to go live from my workout, I will certainly do that. That is something that I do think about, but I don't want to make other people feel uncomfortable. What else? Yes, Nisha, I said your name. Alhamdulillah. I just said, yep. I don't know why we become, as we get older. So Ibrahim wants to know my biography. So I have been in the health and fitness industry for 20 years. I have been a personal trainer and fitness coach for the last 15 years. I have over 13 fitness and nutrition certifications over that time. And I also have a bachelor's in an interdisciplinary bachelor's in exercise science, public health, and psychology. So that is my bio. So I probably should tell people that more often, so you know, like, I'm not just kind of like making up stuff when I talk. I actually have like an academic background in this, and I have lots of fitness and nutrition certification, as well as 20 years of experience of helping people to achieve their health and fitness goals. So, and thank you for asking, Ibrahim. From Chicago. Ida from Chicago. So that is me. Feel free, if you have a friend that's wondering what do they really need. Oh, the other thing that was asked, I thought it was a really good question. Last thing was, oh, somebody asked me, well, if I do, why do I need to do protein powder or protein supplements, right? So the other day someone asked the question what I thought about it, and I said that it was good. And they asked, like, is it natural? Protein powders aren't artificial. They're natural forms of constituted, either if you have a vegetarian protein, then it's a combination of dried fruits and vegetables sometimes. Generally, protein sources like peas, hemp, things like that. Whey protein is actually a component of milk. So they literally take milk and they remove, you ever heard the little saying, curds and whey, right? They remove the curds and they only keep the whey, and then they dry it out and they create protein powder from it. So it is a natural source. You're not eating chemicals when hopefully you're not. Most brands don't include it, because generally people who want to drink protein are a little bit more into their health, and so the companies are aware of that, so they don't put chemicals and a whole bunch of junk inside of it. And you can always find some that are what do you call it, that are organic or come from, you know, cows that are treated ethically and doesn't have any antibiotics. You can find all of that. So yes, Ibrahim, I was born Muslim. So I think, what did he ask me? Yes, I was born Muslim. I was born Muslim. I am the second. My parents converted to Islam, and so me and all of my brothers and sisters were all born Muslim, and we are now a family of 4 generations of American-born Muslims. Thank you for your question. Alhamdulillah. Thank you for watching, Khadija. Dio, I think I'm pronouncing it right. Alhamdulillah, thank you. I use a vegan protein. Ida says, soy base, is it bad for PCOS? Milk is bad because of hormones. So I am not an advocate for a soy-based protein. And the reason why, and particularly for PCOS, right? I would not recommend that. The reason is because soy has what we call phytoestrogens. And phytoestrogens, they simulate estrogen in your body. One of the issues for women who have PCOS is that there is an additional amount of lots of different hormones, estrogen being one of those. So you don't want to actually take in something that's going to raise that hormone level even more, right? So we're trying to reduce the hormone level, not raise it up. So I personally would not recommend a soy-based protein. I actually really don't like a soy-based protein for anybody, as kind of like your only source of protein. So I personally stay away from it. Only maybe a few times a year I might have maybe some soy. When I was little, we ate soy breakfast patties because there was no halal meat store around, and so it reminds me of my childhood. So every few months I might buy one. But I think that we have too much soy in our food system already, and so I don't like the idea of supplementing with soy, particularly when you have other things that you can supplement with, right? There are other types of vegetarian-based proteins that are not soy, and so I would suggest that you look into that. I personally do not sell supplements. I don't do any MLM. So when I'm telling you this stuff, it's really just me giving you just, you know, advice. I'm not trying to sell you a product. And just hopefully that it'll be beneficial to you. If I find something that I really like and I think that it's an awesome product, then I would certainly recommend it to you. Would have no problem selling it to you. But I have not found anything that I am particularly you know, hooked on, that I think that, oh, this is better than everything else. Do you know a good organic plant? I can't give you a particular recommendation right now. I can't think of anything off the top of my head. But you would really have to just look at the ingredients inside of the store and just not have, just, you're looking for two things. You're looking to get something that has the least amount of sugar, because you have to be aware of as well that when they try to substitute one thing for another, so they're trying to substitute animal-based proteins with plant-based proteins, sometimes they will add extra ingredients to make it taste good. And so sugar is the #1 thing. So you want to look for something that's really low in sugar. You want to look for obviously high in protein. If it's low in sugar, then it'll already be low in carbs. You want it to be relatively low in carbohydrates as well. You want it to really be just for your protein. Ibrahim, I am trying to use my talents to benefit Muslim brothers and sisters in Islam. I do various things, but thank you. Okay, Ida, brown rice and peas. It shows that we have lots of different Audrey, I am not a doctor. After this video is over, you can rewind, and I gave Ibrahim asked my qualification. I'm a health and fitness coach, and you can rewind the video, and I talk about my degrees and certifications. Nuts and seeds, certain veggie beans, especially like, okay, hemp seeds. Okay, so Aaron talked about all the different sources that you can get protein from. So all of, okay, good. Lots of different ways that you can get protein. Yes, you get protein from lots of different sources. So again, I tell people, you know, whatever's, go inside your store, make sure that go inside your health food store or your supplement store and take a minute, take a day where you actually have time to sit and read the ingredients and compare the products and get whichever one is best for you. Sierra Leone via Columbus. Alhamdulillah. Pakistan. Wow, we have Pakistan on. We have Turkey on. We have the U.S. and Chicago on. We have everybody on. We could just have like an international party, right? So, all right. I have errands to run, so I have to go. So, inshallah, I will. I'll speak to you soon. Again, if you have another question, just go ahead and put it below, and then I'll try to come on live again tomorrow. Assalamu alaikum.